Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm sharing something deeply personal, a story that's been living in my head for years. It's about a love I thought would last a lifetime, about plans we made, and about a disappearance that changed everything. It started like any other great love story. I met Clara during a summer festival. The air was thick with the smell of popcorn and the sound of laughter, but all I could see was her. She had this way of smiling that made the whole world feel brighter. We talked for hours, and by the end of the night, I knew I'd met someone special. We were inseparable after that. We spent our days exploring old bookshops, hiking trails we'd never seen before, and cooking ridiculously complicated recipes that usually ended in us ordering pizza. Our love wasn't just about the fun moments, it was about the quiet ones too. Lying on the couch, her head on my chest, talking about everything and nothing. We talked about our fears, our biggest dreams, the silly things that made us who we were. She wanted to open a small bakery by the sea, filled with the scent of fresh bread and cinnamon. I wanted to write a novel, and she was my biggest cheerleader, my first reader for every clumsy chapter. We were building a life, not just in our imaginations, but in the small, everyday promises we made to each other. We started planning our future together, piece by piece. We had a jar where we'd put our spare change, our adventure fund, we called it. We'd spread maps out on the living room floor, tracing routes through countries we wanted to see. We picked out names for a dog we'd one day adopt, Barnaby, if it was a boy. We even looked at houses online, dreaming of a little place with a big garden where she could grow her herbs and I could have a quiet office to write in. It all felt so real, so close. We were a team, a unit, ready to take on the world together. Our future was a beautiful picture we were painting, stroke by stroke. And then, one Tuesday, the picture was wiped clean. I remember it so clearly. I texted her that morning, "Can't wait to see you tonight. I'll bring the pizza." I got a simple "you too" back. That was the last I ever heard from her. I went to her apartment that evening, pizza in hand, but she wasn't there. Her car was in its usual spot. I called her phone, and it went straight to voicemail. I thought maybe she was working late or her phone had died. But as the hours ticked by, a cold dread started to creep into my heart. The next day, there was still no word. I called her work, and they said she never showed up. Panic set in. I called her parents, her friends. No one had seen or heard from her. We filed a missing person report. The days that followed were a blur of police stations, interviews, and sleepless nights. Her apartment was just as she'd left it, a half-finished cup of coffee on the counter, a book lying open on her bedside table. It was like she had just stepped out for a moment and never came back. There were no signs of a struggle, no note, nothing. She had simply vanished. The police investigated every lead. They checked her bank accounts, her phone records, surveillance footage from her neighborhood. Nothing. It was as if she had evaporated into thin air. Weeks turned into months. I spent every waking moment searching, putting up flyers, combing through social media for any clue, any whisper of where she could be. The why was a constant torment. Did she leave? Was she taken? The not knowing was a special kind of hell. Our shared dreams, our plans, our future, they all became haunting echoes in an empty room. The world kept moving, but mine had stopped. Friends tried to help, telling me I needed to move on, to live my life. But how do you move on from a ghost? How do you close a chapter when you don't even know how it ends? Her disappearance left a void that nothing could fill. The adventure fund jar still sits on my shelf, a painful reminder of the journeys we never took. Sometimes, I still drive by the neighborhood we dreamed of living in, imagining the life we were supposed to have. It's been 5 years now. The official investigation is cold, another file in a cabinet, but for me, it's never cold. I still hope that one day, my phone will ring, and it will be her. I still look for her face in every crowd. Some people might think it's crazy to hold on for so long, but the love we had was real. The future we planned was real. And until I know what happened, a part of me will always be waiting for Clara to come home. Holding on to that hope is the only way I know how to keep her memory alive, to honor the beautiful love we once shared. Thank you all for listening to my story. It's not an easy one to tell, but sharing it feels important. If you've ever been through something similar, know that you're not alone. Please, if you enjoyed this video or it resonated with you, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Take care of yourselves and the ones you love.